Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Halfway point of the week. The Bears were on the road last night trying to get their first conference win. Were they able to do it?
No, they were not. What we're going to do is divide this in two here. I'm going to give you the score of that, and it was 79-68, but there's a little bit more to it than that, and we'll discuss that in the second segment. But the Bears are 0-9 now in the Missouri Valley Conference. That's not very good.
Not very good at all. And are we throwing in the towel? Is that what the writing on the wall is telling us to do?
Well, the last four teams in the Missouri Valley Conference play on Thursday night in the playoffs, and that's you can't win 4 games in 4 days. I don't care who you are, you're not Superman. And that's what would befall the Bears. They'll be one of the 4 teams in that play-in round. So that in and of itself tells the story, but there's a little bit more to it. The Bears could have won this game, but we'll talk about that.
All right, so before we get into that, we now know who's getting inducted into Cooperstown.
These are the 3 newest ones to be going in, and they will do so in July, joining Dave Parker and joining Dick, don't call me Richie Allen. Of course, they're always it's just great. It's really a phenomenal honor to be chosen to Cooperstown. Anyway, the 3 are Ichiro Suzuki, no surprise, one of the greatest hitters ever. He was 1 vote short of being unanimous. 1 vote. 1 sports writer on the committee did not vote him into the Hall of Fame. That's unconscionable. How could that happen? Well, it did, but he is in the Hall of Fame, 1 vote short of unanimous, and certainly deservedly so. Had well over 3,000 hits here as a major leaguer. He has more hits combined Japan and the major leagues in baseball than Pete Rose had, but of course, the Japanese numbers do not count in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia. My goodness sake, you talk about a dominant pitcher. CC was among them, New York Yankee, and certainly one of the best ever. He goes into the Hall of Fame, as does Billy Wagner, who is the first left-handed reliever ever to be chosen for the Hall of Fame. Incidentally, Ichiro is the first Japanese player to be in the American Baseball Hall of Fame. But Billy Wagner, New York Mets, and the Houston Astros, he was around in Major League Baseball and certainly among the most dominant relief pitchers out of the bullpen. Those 3 will be inducted along with the 2 from what's called the Classic Committee. I love that.
What is the deal with these sports writers? I mean, does he just want to be a stick in the mud? Is that what it is? Is just someone?
Who knows?
Come on. I could not see any logical argument against it.
There is none.
I literally, I don't know if you saw the look on my face. It might look like I was zoning out, but I wasn't zoning out, Ned. I was literally trying to figure out what in the world you could be actually possibly saying to vote against him getting it.
You're joining millions of others.
Doesn't
Man's a 10-time Gold Glove winner, baseball all-star his entire career. He was the Seattle Mariners. Just a great hitter, and you don't vote him in. 1 person, 1 vote shy of unanimous.
Do you ever find out who that is?
Oh, they'll make their name public.
Oh, can't wait. Well, you got to keep your eye on that. Let me know who the jerk was. All right, last but not least, as we mentioned yesterday, even though it's, like just single digits here in the Ozarks, it's actually summertime in Australia, and the Open is happening. What's going on?
And they're down to the semifinals now, and of all, this is great upset, in my opinion. 37-year-old Novak Djokovic, 10-time Australian Open winner, and yet he was the underdog to the 20-year-old and just barely 20 Carlos Alcaraz. And yet Djokovic beat him yesterday. 3-1, dominated, lost the first set, but came back and won the next 3. Djokovic still has it at age 37, can still play. It was a big one. Now, Madison Keys, who is a very fine United States pro athlete, is into the ladies semifinals as well. So all that going on with the championships coming up on Sunday.
And as we mentioned a little bit ago, the Bears were on the road trying to get their first conference win of the season, which is incredible to think about, but that's what's going on. Those are the facts, and they were unable to do it. So what was holding them back?
Foul shooting. And and it's not that the Bears were lacking in foul shooting, didn't have enough of them. 79-68 is the final score. UNI, Northern Iowa, won the game. The Bears are now 0-9. But you take a look at the stats, and the Bears had one of their better shooting games of this year. Shot over 50% from the field, over 50%. So in the final 5 minutes, and the stat is a little misleading because the Bears had to get back into it and did create some fouls and so forth and so on. But the foul shooting stats made the difference. Northern Iowa went to the foul line 29 times and made 22 of them. 22 of 29 from the foul line. The Bears were 7 of 10. Only had 10 chances from the foul line. That's all. There's the difference in the game, 79-68. Bears played well enough to win. They are going to get some wins. They have Drake coming in here on Saturday to play. And you know just fully well that Conzo's team's going to come through somewhere along the line. Is it too late to salvage the season? Well, there have been stranger things that have happened, but still you're 0-9 with just a few games remaining in the regular season before the tournament in the first week in March. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But the fact is the Bears could have won and did not get it done because of foul shooting. Not their lack of. They've been poor on the foul line this year, but the fact they didn't have enough chances. 10 times, 7 of 10. I don't understand that.
Like I said yesterday, definitely star-crossed. So let's talk about the Tigers. How'd they do in Texas yesterday?
Here's a team, the Missouri Tigers, who were averaging way up in the 70s and 80 points a game. They scored 53 last night.
Wow, man.
It was partially Texas. Texas did a nice job of defense on them, but hey, playing on the home court makes a big difference, and the Texas Longhorns beat Mizzou 61-53. It ended a winning streak of the Tigers. Tigers were up to 17 in the nation as of this week, but hey, didn't get this one done in Longhorn country, and in my opinion, Missouri is better than Texas, but the Longhorns won it 61-53.
Last but not least, we are pretty much a month away from when pitchers and catchers report, which is crazy to think about, but we've all been kind of wanting to see what the St. Louis Cardinals will do as far as moves. So far, not a whole lot.
Well, they haven't. Maybe there's some forthcoming. According to some in the media up in St. Louis, and according to these are all rumors, Ryan Helsley is a possible, and we have to emphasize possible, trade bait to the Texas Rangers. They want him. How much they want him, well, remains to be seen. Now, these deals may not take place until after the season has begun. That does happen. But it looks as though Ryan Helsley could be trade bait. And the Dodgers, who are claiming everybody, they are considering a deal for Nolan Arenado. Interesting. The Dodgers are loaded, folks. They already are. Their pay scale is so far above reach right now that they can afford it. They're the defending world champions. Anyway, the Dodgers may be, and you have to emphasize this, may be in the market for Nolan Arenado. We'll have to see what happens.
Cardinals Nation, you better hope you crossing those fingers, toes, and doing all the dances you got to do. Hopefully that'll happen because that might be a change or at least a positive one. Either way, Ned, you have a great day, and I will see you soon.